ليلوم الخوف والكوابيس والخيانة، ليلوم الخوف والكوابيس والخيانة، نحن قدامنا الصباح، نحن قدامنا الصباح.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to قدامنا الصباح's Poetry for Sudan event. Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge that this event is being hosted here in Burulu on Sovereign Wajak Nungabuja, and that a lot of our participants are based in so-called Australia on unceded Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island lands. قدامنا الصباح pays our respects to elders past and present, and to all First Nations people across this continent. As a group of settler refugees, we extend our solidarity with First Nations people across the continent and acknowledge that the systems which have allowed us relative safety here in this colony are the same ones which create dispossession and oppression. We recognize that sovereignty was never ceded. This is and always will be Aboriginal land. If you're based in so-called Australia, please, when you introduce yourself, tell us which country you're on. So قدامنا الصباح is a cultural forum that's concerned with creative and cultural work and the edification of its intersections with civil political resistance in Sudan. This forum is committed to human rights issues and the effective role of the arts in politics and social change. Today's event is to raise awareness of the situation in Sudan and to practice active and radical solidarity. Today we'll be hearing from poets from across the world as they share their poems for Sudan. The situation in Sudan has been dire since two factions from the previous dictatorial regime began a power struggle on April 15th, 2003. The use of heavy weaponry in densely populated areas in Khartoum and other parts of Sudan has led to thousands of deaths, tens of thousands injured, and millions displaced, and massive amounts of destruction. The two generals leading this war against the Sudanese people, Al-Burhan and Hemeti, have had a history of violence and face numerous allegations of war crimes and human rights abuses. Together, these two generals carried out a military coup on the 25th of October 2021, sabotaging the transitional Sudanese government that was a step towards democracy in the country. They undertook this coup using the Sudanese armed forces and the Sudanese Response Forces, which is a rebranding of the Janjaweed militias, which are the two forces currently battling in the densely populated areas. Currently, the Rapid Response Forces slash Janjaweed militias are using civilians as human shields, while the armed forces are using heavy artillery against the militias. The loss of civilian life has been catastrophic in all areas of Sudan. Sudan civilians at the moment cannot access medical cares as hospitals have been destroyed. There is little access to clean water, and there has been a catastrophic collapse of all infrastructure. The situation changes daily, and we see the issues that are arising daily. There has been mass internal displacements and also exits towards refugee pathways. And this event is mostly to focus on how art can be used as a force of testimony and awareness sharing. And we are very thankful for all of the artists who are joining us here today. Sudanese politics and art are not distinct things, they are one and the same. And so it's very fitting that we have this event. Is pleased to present next Dr. إشراقة Mustapha Hamid. إشراقة is a writer, political scientist, and translator and publicist. She studied both in the Sudanese capital of Khartoum and in Austria, and did her doctorate at the Institute of Political Science at the University of Vienna on liberation processes of African women in Vienna. In her younger years, إشراقة was involved in the Sudanese women's movement and worked as a journalist before she had to leave the country as opposition to after the military coup and move to Austria. She stands up for people with migrant and refugee backgrounds and founded the first Black women's community in Vienna, and is a representative for the Arabic literature in the Austrian Pen Club. She's published over 10 books in multiple languages and has translated multiple books in Arabic and German. She was awarded the Golden Decoration of Merit of the state of Vienna for her commitment to arts and human rights. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Rafif. Thank you, Afif. It is my honor being here reading for our beloved Sudan. Until we return, we will continue fighting for peace, freedom, and justice. I would like to read two poems. The first one is in Arabic, and the second one will be in German. حالة تنتابني بوطن مثل أحلامي تهمي قيماته على الأرض. وجهك يا حبيبي تقاسيم وجهك كل حالاتي، صباحاتي قضى بجنون هواجسي، فيوضات الليل النيل الحسير، وخوفي على بلاد قطنها هباء منثور. وليس لي سوى الغناء يدر الطاقات حليبا لأطفال الشوارع، ومن عينيك غيمات تسري بين الناس سلاما. ليس لي سوى الغناء لتشب عن الطوق هتافات الحياة، وأنا أتدحرج قطرة من حبر بيانات الحرية. أكتب مواسم النشيج والنشيد المر، أكتب الغيبوبة والتغييب والغياب والخراب، أكتب كذب الساسة وشعراء السلطة والمتسربلين بالدين والنساء. وحدهم الأطفال لا يكذبون، وحدهم الأطفال لا يكذبون، فمن ينزع شوكة البلاد المقروسة في كبدي سواهم؟ من؟ وأنا حقل من الأشواك، من يا بستاني الحلمر. The second one will be in German, entitled Meine schwarze Schwester. It means my black sisters. Meine schwarze Schwestern sind meine Stärke, meine Lieder, meine Stolz. Sie sind meine Sterne, meine Sehnsucht nach Verzeihung, Vergessen und Liebe. Schwarze Schwestern, Hand in Hand, Herz an Herz. Auf dem Weg zu unserer Befreiung umarme ich euch. Thank you. شكرا عفيف and رفيف.
ليلوم الخوف والكوابيس والخيانة، ليلوم الخوف والكوابيس والخيانة، نحنا قدامنا الصباح، نحنا قدامنا الصباح.